So the Hamilton Warriors are now on a 7-game winning streak, putting them number one in the Atlantic Division ahead of the Toronto Maple Leafs by 2 points. So this team's looking incredibly solid right now, led by franchise defenseman D to the Mac, Darren McDonald. Now let's take a very quick peek. I'm going to go to the edit line screen instead so we can take a peek at how everyone's doing. We're going to look at some contracts on this team as well, and we're going to see who's coming up in the pipeline. So first we'll start with Lane Pandolfo, who was the very first overall pick for this team. He's an absolute monster in just about every single regard. He has 3 years left at 11 and a quarter, but he's 24 years old. At the end of his contract, he will be an unrestricted free agent at 27 years old. So he is going to cost a pretty penny to keep around on this team. He has 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points so far in the first 16 games of this season. Last year, he had a career 63-goal season. He is about to play his 500th career game, and he's already got 312 career goals at just 24 years old to go with his 244 assists and 556 points. After him, we move on to Matt Siemens, who has 16 points in 16 games. He's 26 years old. His birthday is in March, so he will be going to exact potential before the end of this season. He's 89 overall currently, meaning I'm hoping he goes exact elite in March. He is a power forward, center/right winger, very solid defensively and offensively. Skating is a big one, but because of his size, 6'2", 234 pounds, his physical game is absolutely unbelievable. He is on a very team-friendly 3-year, $6.5 million contract, which wasn't 3 years. I believe it was 5 years at the time that he signed it. He began his career for us in year 2, where he had a 40-point season. He followed that up with a 50-point season. In his third year, he had a 65-point season, then a 77-point season. And as the number one center for his second year, he had a career-high 80-point year in 77 games this season, on pace for about 82. But off to a slow start this year, he has really picked up his game, also getting his first hat trick of the season in one of the last games. In his career, the 26-year-old has played 419 games. He has 134 goals, 194 assists, and 328 points. He also has 333 penalty minutes to go along with that. He has definitely upped his discipline as of late. Very solid player. We've also got Thatcher Lewis, the 25-year-old left/right winger. He is a right-handed playmaking winger. His puck skills are pretty decent. The shot is probably his weakest thing. His skating is definitely his number one attribute. Agile, fast, good endurance, decent enough balance. He signed a 7-year, not 6 years, in the second year of his contract, a 7-year, $5.25 million contract. He spent the first 4 full years of his career with the Ottawa Senators, where he had 40 points, 48, then 65, then dropped down to 60. He had 7 assists in the first 6 games of the season before being traded to the Hamilton Warriors and immediately going on the top line, where he put up 67 points in 71 games. Then last season put up a career high in goals, assists, and points with 83 points. In his career, he has played 501 games, just 110 goals, but 269 assists, 379 points. There is no reason why Thatcher Lewis cannot continue this unbelievable production and become a 1,000-point player by the end of his career. After that, we move down to a pickup that we got last season, 24-year-old Hannu Lajunen, 6'1", 206-pound low elite center, has 12 goals, 5 assists, 17 points in 16 games. He got off to an unbelievable start to the season. He has absolutely tapered off since then, but his shot is great. His poise is fantastic. Not the greatest skater in the world, but definitely not bad. Physically, he's a little on the weak side. Defensively, a little on the weak side. His puck skills aren't terrible. He was picked in the 4th round 5 years ago by the Arizona Coyotes. He is on a 1-year, $1.15 AAV contract that, as of January 1st, will be able to sign an extension. So In his career, he played 21 games with Arizona after spending several seasons with the Tucson Roadrunners. He had a 71-point year in the AHL last season. He had 8 goals, 1 assist, 9 points in 21 games before being traded to Hamilton near the deadline, or at the deadline, where in 19 games he just had 3 goals but 8 assists, 11 points, and so far this season is looking incredibly solid. Unfortunately, though, this is technically not his rookie year. After him, we go over to longtime Hamilton Warrior Barrett Hayton, who has 7 points in 12 games. He did miss 4 games so far this season due to injury, but after playing 3.5 seasons with the Arizona Coyotes after this franchise mode started, was traded to the Hamilton Warriors, where he became the third-line center, putting up 28 points in 47 games, making him good enough to be second-line center, where he had a career-high 23 goals and then 42 points. Then he topped that off with another career high with 45 points last season in a full 82-game season. So far this year, he is on pace for, I guess, about the same, but he did also already miss time. In 595 career games, he has 127 goals, 159 assists, 286 points. He is a very solid center, great on the faceoff, really solid defensively, great physically. A pretty damn decent shot, if you ask me, too, and on a sweetheart 3-year, $3.5 million contract that takes him to 31 years old. After him, we move over to Alex Texier, who's been on the team for a while as well. He is on a slightly less team-friendly contract, but for what he brings defensively and offensively, with a good shot, decent physically, good skater, amazing poise, not the greatest discipline in the world, but he was picked up 2 years ago from the Columbus Blue Jackets, where he immediately slotted into our second line, had 28 points in 45 games before having a pretty decent 46-point season last year, and so far this year has been very, very solid. He is 29 years old. He'll be 32 at the end of his contract. Not 100% sure him or Barrett Hayton are going to be sticking around forever, because we got a lot of young players in the pipeline that are going to be coming up soon, but in 614 career games, he has 137 goals, 201 assists, and 338 points. This year, he is on pace for more than 50 points and has not missed a game. We move down to the third line, where we got 21-year-old rookie Samuel Burkowal, 6'5", 220-pound center, two-way forward. Not a very great skater. That is definitely the weak point for him, but he was 3 years ago the number 12 draft pick by the Los Angeles Kings, who we picked up. Defensively, he's solid. The poise could be a little better, but his puck skills, his shooting, everything is decent. But for his size, I would very much love for his physical game to be a little bit better. He does have shutdown. He is a great defender. He's got 2 years left on his entry-level contract. He did play for Sudbury, our AHL affiliate, last season after putting up over 100 points in the U.S. development program. He had 58 points in 75 games and is now a rookie. He missed a couple of games due to injury and also was a healthy scratch at certain points, but 6 points in 11 games so far for this rookie at a +7 puts him definitely in the Calder race. He's got medium top 6 potential, and there is no reason why this guy cannot become a top 6 forward in the next couple of seasons. Another one, he's been on the Hamilton Warriors for some time now, missed 6 games due to injury. He's on a 2-year, $2.5 million contract. It's Ryan McLeod, third-line center extraordinaire, pretty much solid in every regard, doesn't really have a weakness. His speed is definitely his strength, as well as his defense. He's got 6 points in 10 games so far this year. He is coming off a career season. 42 points in 82 games last year for the Hamilton Warriors. Unfortunately, we were taken out in the third round of the playoffs by the Florida Panthers in 5 games after winning 4 straight Stanley Cups. In 564 career games, he has just 76 goals, 105 assists, and 181 points, but has proven himself to be an incredibly effective member of this team. After him, we move over to a pickup that we got in the offseason. We wanted a veteran presence on this team, and we got Victor Arvidsson, who was off to a miserably bad start to the season. I believe he had 1 point in the first 9 or 10 games of the year. It was a goal, and that's all he had. He's playing about 14 minutes a night. His speed is starting to taper off a little bit. His shot is good. His defense is fantastic, but the durability could end up becoming an issue. He's just signed for this one season. He is 35 years old. Could bring him back as a depth piece next season. He played the last 3 years in Seattle, where he actually put up really good numbers last year. The goal scoring seems to have tapered right off for him, but in his career, a long career of 952 games, he has 239 goals, 356 assists, and 595 points. I do not believe he has ever won a Stanley Cup, but he has 6 points in 16 games for Hamilton. You've got to think he's going to put up 30 plus points, could potentially be a fourth liner for us next season if the speed holds up and doesn't taper off. Now we move on to one of the early on in the season looked like a problem contract with Emil Bemstrom, who's 29 years old. He's playing just 9 minutes a game. He was not producing whatsoever after having a couple really solid seasons for us. But at that $3.175 million cap hit, he is definitely someone we've got to think about moving on from. He is a sniper. He's got good poise. He's not the worst defensively, especially for a depth forward. His speed and small stature makes him deadly offensively, but this season just has not been able to put it together. He was in Sudbury, our AHL affiliate, for a little while in 24-25, played 2 games for us that season. He got a goal, one of his 2 shots on net, played the full year the next season for us, where he put up an impressive 19 goals and 33 points on the 4th line before being moved up to the 3rd line the next year, where he put up 37 points, and last season where he put up an impressive 19 goals, 34 assists, or 34 points, again between the 3rd and the 4th line. This season he seems to have been relegated basically to the 4th line, but he is beside a couple very young players like 23-year-old Slav Pushkarev, or Push as I like to call him. He plays more than 11 minutes a night, but that is because he does get power play time. I would like his speed to go up a little bit. His durability could become an issue at some point, but the defensive awareness is definitely the glaring issue for him. He is on an expiring contract. He's going to be looking to potentially get a raise this year after a very impressive sophomore season. He spent almost all of his rookie season on the 4th line, putting up 9 goals and 19 points before going up to the 3rd line at times. In his sophomore year, where he put up an impressive 17 goals and 28 points. This season on pace for, I would say, about 30, and just hoping that he can grow into potentially a career middle 6 kind of player. Will probably likely demand or command about $2 million a season for a couple of years. And we've got youngster Jordan Gavin with 7 points in 16 games. He's looking like he could get 35 points between the 3rd and 4th line. He is a center. He's not an amazing center. The defense, definitely a glaring issue. Probably should get a little more ice time. He is the center of our 2nd power play unit. He was taken 14th overall by your very own Hamilton Warriors 3 years ago. He fits way better on the bottom 6 than he does in the top 6. He is also on an expiring contract and will be looking for an extension. On defense, we have got youngster Dylan Watt with 17 points in 16 games. He is looking absolutely fantastic. His puck skills could get a little better. His shots, not terrible, not great. Physical, not terrible, not great. His skating is his greatest attribute, along with his defense. But he is absolutely a point-producing defenseman on a very, very team-friendly 7.25 AAV for the next 8 years. So far in his career, he has 130 points in 206 games, moved up to the top pairing last season, where he put up a very impressive 64 points, including 10 goals alongside DMAC. And this year, he is looking like he's going to get 65 plus points, on pace for about 85, 86 points this year. But that could either go up or down as he decides he's going to play more of a defensive game. We've got franchise defenseman who is also leading this team in points in Darren McDonald, 6'3", 216 pounds. In his career, he has got 426 games played, 134 goals, 342 assists, and 476 points, an absolute monster on defense as well. In his attributes, his puck skills are pretty fantastic. Senses are amazing. The shot is his weak point, despite being a 20-plus goal scorer several times in his career. He was taken first overall by the Los Angeles Kings in the second year of this franchise mode. Never played a game for the LA Kings. The Hamilton Warriors gave up an arm and a leg to get the not then franchise potential defenseman. He was elite potential defenseman, but gave up a lot to get him. His physicality is fantastic. Skating is unbelievable. There's almost no weakness to his game whatsoever. He's got 4 years remaining on a 13.25 AAV contract. He is another one who will be an unrestricted free agent at the time this contract ends. It is going to be very interesting to see what he and Lane Pandolfo are going to be asking for. After that, we've got 34-year-old super veteran Robert Baudouin, who is absolutely fantastic defensively. I do believe that the skating is going to taper off very soon. He's got good poise, not the worst puck skills in the world, but he is a solid, true defensive defenseman. Fits very well, but his cap hit is going to age like milk. He did spend time on that third pairing. He started his career with the Hamilton Warriors, playing 3 full seasons with the team before moving on just over halfway through the year to the New York Islanders, where he did not perform overly well. Played another season with the Islanders before signing with the Nashville Predators. Played 17 games for them before being acquired back by the Hamilton Warriors last season to go on a cup run that we fell short on, again being eliminated in the third round by the Florida Panthers. This season he is looking very solid again, likely hits 200 career points this year or early next season. Will probably play about 700 games in his career before it's over, but once injured defenseman Ivan Zamnov comes back in January, Baudouin will be relegated back to the third pairing. Beside him is Chris Murley. Murley was taken 99th overall in year 2 by the Hamilton Warriors. He's on a 5-year, $5.6 million contract, which kicked in last season. It was a 6-year deal. He had 32 points as a rookie, 26 last year, picked it back up with 29, but only the 1 goal in his career in 340 games. He has just 12 goals, but 105 assists and 117 points. Very solid second pairing defender with decent poise for a 24-year-old. His physicality is fantastic, but his skating is a glaring issue. Slav Kolyachonok was picked up just to be a placeholder, a depth defender who would be a healthy scratch at times, ended up fitting in very well and earned himself a roster spot with the Hamilton Warriors this season, just on a 2-way $1 million a year contract. And 33-year-old Connor Clifton has been holding the fort down since Ivan Zamnov went down with injury. He also suffered an injury that kept him out of a couple of games. I believe he missed 4 games. He's playing just under 14 minutes a night. Doesn't have the greatest poise, but he's a decent skater. He's got decent durability, and he's pretty good. Defensively, we got him for $1.6 million on the season. Finally, we move on to the goaltending tandem. 25-year-old Paul Peru has been the starting goaltender on this team for quite some time now. He was taken 15th overall by the Warriors in year 1. He is on a 2-year, $3.7 million contract, which takes him to UFA status, but we are confident we can get him signed. He has been above a 900 save percentage every season for his career, but this is finally the year that he has taken off and looks like a bona fide starter. We're hoping to get him in to another 60-game season, with Mats Eriksson being his backup for the other 22. He's played 162 career games at 25 years old, and he has 116 wins already, 15 shutouts with a career .907 save percentage and a 2.42 goals against average. This year, he has put up an impressive .921 save percentage in his first 11 games with just a 2.18 goals against average. This team very strong defensively, but we also have the elite prospect Mats Eriksson, 6'3", 199 pounds, was taken in the 3rd round in the 3rd year of this franchise mode, 90th overall pick. He has got 2 years left on his not entry-level contract, but signed a 2-year extension as a two-way deal. He was the starter for 2 seasons in our AHL affiliate team where he put up very impressive numbers, and as a rookie is putting up really solid numbers as well. 4-1-0 record with a .910 save percentage and a 2.60 goals against average. So goaltending is definitely a strong suit for this team. Go to the scratch players, where Justin Bell is another one of our prospects that we were really hoping to get into more games this season. We were plagued with the injury bug early, but it seems to have kind of gone away. In year 3, we took Justin Bell 17th overall. He is a center grinder, medium top 9 potential. We're just hoping he can make it to the NHL level in a more permanent role, likely plays under 27 games this season, but we shall see. In the pipeline, we've got a couple of prospects that I'm pretty excited about, like Mika Lamminen, the 20-year-old medium elite potential center power forward. Skating is a huge issue. Physicality is great. The shot is great. 1 year ago, he was taken in the 3rd round, and there is a chance he could make it to the NHL as early as next year. Beside him, we have Darcy Hunt, 20 years old, taken 27th overall in the 1st round in 2026. He is a center sniper with a fantastic shot who is going to have very good, solid skating ability. Beside him is an acquisition we just got, Carey Terrence, medium top 9 potential two-way forward, could end up slotting in as a bottom 6 guy for us, good physically, 3rd round pick in 2023 by the Vancouver Canucks. After him, we've got Caden Meach that I'm excited about, 6'6", 230-pound power forward, taken 21st overall 2 years ago by the Edmonton Oilers, picked up by the Hamilton Warriors. Other than him, we've got Roy Zimmerman, who we took in the LA Kings 2nd round pick in 2025. We have got Skylar Niedermeyer, low elite undrafted power forward. We have got John Ramirez, low top 6, 2nd round pick by the Washington Capitals. He could end up becoming a bottom 6 forward as well. We got Mika Jaskalainen, the 22-year-old 3rd round pick in 2025 by the Hamilton Warriors. Not sure if he ever makes it, but one of the most exciting prospects we've got is 19-year-old Mika Ramo, left defender, 19 years old. He's put up 15 points in 18 games so far for our minor league affiliate team. He's a two-way defender, taken 9th overall last season. He has got in reverse and tape to tape as his X-Factor abilities. He just signed his entry-level contract, and he's looking like he's going to be an absolute stud as a top 4 defender in the National Hockey League. We also picked up Slav Zagrapin, 21-year-old, 6'4", 207-pound, 21-year-old defender. He is a two-way defender, taken in the 2nd round by the Buffalo Sabres 3 years ago, picked up by us. 2 years left at $975. In net, we don't really have any prospects, just Reese Zanin. He's a fringe starter. He's looking very solid for our AHL team with an impressive .923 and a 2.40. We took him in the 4th round 3 years ago. That is all of the prospects on this team, the 13-3-0 Hamilton Warriors, here on November 17th, 2028. Now you've seen it all for now.